Welcome back to Claw and Fossil. I'm your host, and today we're diving into the Paleozoic Era, a stretch of time from 541 to 252 million years ago. It's often called the first age of animals because life exploded in diversity, spread onto land, and completely reshaped the planet.
It is not just a little era. The Paleozoic covers almost 300 million years of Earth's history. That's longer than the entire age of dinosaurs. Think of it as life's first great experiment. Trilobites, giant insects, early forests, and the ancestors of both reptiles and mammals.
Let's start at the beginning. The Cambrian period, about 541 million years ago, something extraordinary happened. Almost overnight, geologically speaking, life diversified into nearly all the major groups we know today.
Yeah, this is the famous Cambrian Explosion. You got trilobites crawling around the sea floor, spiky predators like amniotic, early mollusks, and even the first primitive vertebrates.
Predation became a driving force. Shells, spines, and armor appear for the first time. It was an arms race, and the seas were packed with weird alien looking creatures.
As we move into the Ordovician and the Silurian periods, life was still mostly the oceans, but plants were starting to creep onto land.
Right. At first, just mosses and simple plants. By the Silurian, we see the first vascular plants with stems and roots. Around the same time, arthropods and anthropods, the ancestors of insects and spiders, followed them onto land.
And then in the Devonian, sometimes called the Age of Fishes, we get an even bigger leap. The first vertebrates to leave water. Think of creatures like a digalic, half fish, half amphibian. This is when four-legged animals or tetrapods first appeared.
Next up, the Carboniferous period, and this is one of my favorite chapters. Picture swampy forests stretching for miles filled with giant ferns, horsetails, and towering lycosids.
And the oxygen levels were sky high, up to 35%. This is when we see giant insects like dragonflies with wingspans over 2 feet and millipedes that grew longer than a person.
Reptiles also made their debut here, laying amniotic eggs that freed them from the water. That innovation set the stage for future reptiles, dinosaurs, and eventually mammals.
Finally, we reached the Permian period. By this time, all continents had collided into the supercontinent Pangaea. The climate was harsher, but reptiles thrived, especially the Samians, which were the ancestors of mammals.
Actually, there, pal, it's synapsids. But yeah, one of the most famous is the Dimetrodon, often mistaken for a dinosaur but actually a mammal relative. It had the huge sail on its back and was top predator of its time.
But the Permian ends in catastrophe. Around 252 million years ago, massive volcanic explosions in Siberia triggered climate collapse. Oceans turned toxic, climates and temperatures spiked, and nearly 90% of species went extinct.
It's known as the Great Dying, the deadliest mass extinction in Earth's history. The Paleozoic ends here, clearing the stage for a new group of reptiles that would see the rise in the Mesozoic, the dinosaurs. So the Paleozoic began with a burst of life in the oceans and ended with devastation on a global scale. But through it all, life kept innovating plants, insects, amphibians, reptiles, even the first mammal ancestors.
This was Earth's first real age of complexity. Without the Paleozoic, there was no dinosaurs, no mammals, and no humans.
That's it for episode 2 of Claw and Fossil Prehistoric Eras. Next time, we'll step into the Mesozoic, the age of the dinosaurs. Trust me, it's going to be a ride.